Hi and hello, I am Athena Pandyan here. Welcome to the control system for the biomedical engineers classroom once again. Today we are going to start the next topic of the first unit, that is block diagram reduction. So what is block diagram reduction? What is the requirement of that particular block diagram reduction, and what are the things we can able to get using that particular block diagram reduction? All the things we are going to discuss today. Come, let me start the unit. See, block diagram reduction. Before that, of course, we know that control system is nothing but group of elements, group of controlled elements. Okay, so the elements of the system is always representing in the rectangular box. Okay, these particular elements is involving so many elements in a system. So that is a group of elements combined together to frame a system, that we know that. So we need to analyze the system in the way of pictorial representation. That is called as the block diagram. So the system can be representing in the way of differential equation or in the way of a mechanical translational system or rotational system that we saw. In the way of block diagram also, we can able to representing the system. We can able to constructing the system. So if in case, if you want to analyze the system using the block, for that you need to require how to find the transfer function of the block. So that is the thing we need to discuss about. So for that you need to understand what is the elements and what are all the associated elements present along with this element you need to know. So you need to note that the two main important things, that is summing point and branch point. So summing point is the point it can able to represent in the way of picture like this. If you want to add any elements or if you want to add any signals, you can able to use the summing point in the block diagram representation. Of course, we know that the blocks indicates it having input and output and some of the other elements, all the things are there. That is, if you want to frame a loop, then this is considered as the feedback path, all the things. If you want to connect anything in the forward path, of course this is the forward path. If you want to connect any of the loop or any of the element in the forward path, it should be connected through the summing point. That is what we need, a summing point. We need to use the summing point for the connection. Okay, this is the use of summing point. Whether you want to add or subtract, if you want to put like this. If you want to subtract, then using the signal like this. If you want to add, then using the signal like this. Okay, so this is what we are using summing point in the block diagram. The next thing is branch point. So branch point can be represented in the way of, for example, if the element is like this. For example, if the element is like this, this is the summing point, this is the feedback loop, this is the forward path. Of course, we know that. This is the forward path. Once that is fluctuating in the forward path and it is meet again in this forming a loop, that is called as a feedback loop. If in case if there is any other system joined like this, please remember this is not a loop. As like is this is not a loop, because this particular loop from the forward path it will turns and again it go to the input. But this particular picture, it does not come again to the forward path. It starts from one point and it is moving towards the other point. Of course, you know that the difference between the two definitions. Once the point start from one point and ending towards the other point is called as the forward path. It starts from one point and end towards the same point, that is called as the loop. That is the definition, we know that. So this is considered as the forward path. So this is also considered as the forward path. So it having two forward path, this particular system. This is one of the forward path and this is also a forward path. Okay, so if you want to indicate these kind of branches from the forward path, you can able to use the point called the branch point, this particular point. From the forward path, it takes a separate branch. That branch indication point is called as the branch point. Please remember. If you want to block diagram reduction methodology, reduction indicates what is the need of the reduction. See, if the system can be represented in the way of blocks. Suppose if you are in the need to determine the transfer function of this particular system, from this particular block diagram representation, you want to determine the transfer function of the system. For that, you need to reduce the blocks into one by one. For example, this particular block diagram have 4 elements and 1 feedback path. You need to reduce that 4 into 2 and the 2 into 1. And the final element, you are just reduce the block into 1. Then we know that this is input and this is output. If it is a one block there and one input and one output there, then it is very comfortable for you to determine the transfer function. Okay, because Laplace transform of output divided by Laplace transform of input. So here, this is the G of S elements. Okay, what is the input you given? According to the element, thus it will produce the output and measure the output. Then take the ratio of output divided by the input of the Laplace transform. Then the transfer function can be understood. So for that, you need to reduce the blocks. Okay, so 5 can be converted into 3 or 3 can be converted into 2 or 1, like that. You need to reduce the block. Once you are reducing the blocks, then it is very comfortable for you to determine the transfer function. So that is what the title is, block diagram reduction. That particular block diagram reduction, if you want to reduce the block, if you want to change this 2 blocks into 1, or if you want to reduce the 3 blocks into 2 or 1, we need to follow some of the rules and regulations. That is a terminology framed by the authors. That terminology is considered as the block diagram rule. Block diagram rules. We are going to apply this rule for each and every conditions. For example, if you want to reduce the block, 3 blocks into 1 block, or 10 blocks into 5 blocks, or 5 blocks into 1 block, like that, you need to apply the conditions over it. How we can able to reduce the block? How we can able to apply the rules of the block? That is the thing you need to know, that what is the conditions applied for reducing the block. That is the rules. Okay. So for the first condition, combining the block in cascade connection. If there is a block, if it is in the cascade connection, how we can able to reduce the cascade connection? That is the first rule. So what is the thing we need to follow? This is the first rule, condition. Then the second condition, combining blocks in the parallel connection. Suppose there is a elements that are connected in the parallelly. How we can able to reduce the block? That is the second rule we need to follow. Okay. Then the third, summing point. Of course, summing point I already told you. This is the summing point indication. This is the summing point indication. If in case, if you want to shift the summing point ahead of the block, for example, if there is a block there, if there is the summing point is here. If in case, if you want to shift the summing point ahead of the block, if you want to shift the summing point ahead of the block, then what is the rule? If you want to shift the, for example, if you want to shift the summing point behind the block, what is the rule? That is the fourth rule. Then, branch point. If you want to move this branch point ahead of the block, then what is the thing you need to follow? Then, if you want to move the branch point behind the block, then what is the rule we need to follow? So, these are all the conditions. So, according to the conditions, we need to apply the rule. Okay. Then, the next is sixth. Summing point is there. There is a 3 connections. For example, in case 3 connections of summing point is there, how we can able to split the summing point? Or if in case there are 2 summing point is there, how we can able to combine that summing point? Okay, then how we can able to remove the feedback path? Please remember. How we can able to remove this feedback path? The feedback path is 2 feedback paths are there. That is positive feedback path and negative feedback paths are there. If the loop is connected to the positive signal of the summing point, then it is called as a positive feedback path. If the loop signal that is connected to the negative sign of the summing point, then it is called as the negative feedback path. So how we can able to remove? What is the rule we can able to apply? So these are all the conditions needed. These are all the conditions there in the block diagram. If you want to remove that particular condition, we need to apply the rule. Okay. So one by one, we are going to discuss how we can able to apply the rule and what is the conditions we get. So first thing we saw is combining the blocks in the cascade connection. Suppose if the system have some of the cascade connection of elements like this. This is G1 and this is G2 and this is the input representation and this is the output representation. The arrow mark indication is very, very important. That indicates whether it is a forward path or reverse path. Okay. So if the system is look like this, if you want to remove this block, two blocks into one blocks, convert this block, two blocks into the one block, what is the condition we need to apply? The rule is, if there is any systems, it is in the cascade connection, then the rule is you are just multiply these two elements. This is R and this is C. This is the rule. If any blocks are in the cascade connection, then you need to multiply each an elements and then convert it to the one block. The very important thing is there is no connections in between it. If there is no branch point between this, if there is no summing point between this, that is the conditions you understand. There is no connections in between the elements. It is in the cascade connection. Then you are supposed to multiply this two elements. Then this two blocks is converted to the one block. Okay. Then the second condition. If there are blocks, it is in the parallel connection. That is G1 and G2. If the block it is in the parallel connection, how we can able to remove this? You need to add this particular thing, G1 plus G2. This is R and this is C. This is C, this is R. Please understand, it should be a forward path. If the arrow mark indication is in the backward side, then that is considered as the loop. That is a separate rule for removing the feedback path. That is the thing you need to understand. The condition applied especially for the blocks in the parallel connection. The most important thing you need to understand is that particular connection to block is not a feedback path. Okay, if in case this block is look like this, then if you want to remove this particular thing, then you need to apply the rule as G1 plus G2. We can able to add these two blocks. Okay, then the third. G, this is R and this is C. This is the branch point. Please understand, this is the branch point. If you want to shift this branch point ahead of the block, in some of the conditions required this particular branch point is moving ahead of the block. If you want to move the ahead of the block, then what is the rule you need to follow is, this is the thing you are. So the third condition is, see, this is called as the branch point. Please remember, if the condition required want to move this branch point ahead of the block. So if you want to move this branch point here, then what is the rule you need to follow is, if you want to shift the branch point here, then you need to reciprocate that particular shifted block. Please remember, if you want to shift the block ahead of the block, that particular block multiplication of reciprocal should be added here. That is the condition you need to apply. Okay. So the fourth rule is moving a branch point behind the block. Previously we just saw ahead of the block. Here the condition is moving the branch point behind the block. Then what we are going to do is, we need to multiply that particular system and put like this. Okay. Please remember, don't confuse. If you want to moving ahead of the block, then reciprocate the signal and multiply this. Here there is no need of reciprocation for moving the block behind the system. Then you just put like this. So this is the rule you need to follow. Then the fifth condition and sixth condition is, here the branch point we saw. In fifth condition, in the sixth condition, we are going to see the summing point. What is the rule we need to follow for moving the summing point ahead of the block, and what is the thing we need to follow moving the summing point behind the block. Okay, come. Then the next rule is regarding with summing point. If you want to move this, if you want to shift this summing point ahead of the block, what is the rule we need to follow? If you want to shift the summing point behind the block, what is the rule we need to follow? If you want to move the summing point ahead of the block, then this condition is applied. That is, you need to multiply the blocks where you need to aheading. Okay. Then if you want to shift the summing point behind the block, then it will reciprocate the thing where you need to shift it over. Okay, that is the thing you need to follow. You just see the branch point and the summing point, it is straight opposite. Here in the branch point aheading, you need to reciprocate. But in the summing point aheading, you need to multiply. In the branch point, if you want to move the branch point behind the block, you need to reciprocate. But here, if you want to move the summing point behind the block, you need to reciprocate. So it is straight opposite to each and every one. So if you want to memorize any one of the rule among these four rules, that is third, fourth, 5 and 6th rule, if you want to remember any of the rule, then the other thing you can able to frame easily. Okay, so this is straight opposite. The branch point and summing point is straightly opposite. Okay, please remember. Next rule we follow is summing point. If you want to split the summing point, see, look, here 3 connections of summing points are there. If you want to split the summing point into 2, then you need to convert like this. There is no need of changing of inputs. There is no need of changing of signs. Here the B is connected to the negative sign of the summing point, the C is connected to the positive, and A is connected to the positive. At the same time, input variable C, A, B, all are same. But at the same time, the sign variation is also not there. The B is connected to negative here, C is connected to positive here, and A is also in the positive. So only thing you need to shift is you just split this summing point into 2 and indicate the arrow marks. That's all. Okay. Then the next rule is combining the summing point. If the condition required combining the summing point, then you need to follow this rule. That is simple. If this is C and B, if you are just combine and this, that is the reversing of the previous rule. Okay. So if you want to combining this or splitting of this, the most important thing you need to follow is the sign indication. So the input where the signal it is connected, whether the positive or negative, that is the thing you need to remember. No need of any changes in the sign. At the same time, arrow mark indication. Here C is connected to positive, B is connected to negative. Here the same thing, B is connected to negative and C is connected to positive. So that is the thing you need to follow in the summing point. The rule apply is very simple. There is no need of adding any G, as I said. Okay. Next rule follow is also the summing point. Already we saw the splitting of summing point and the combination of summing point, combining summing point. Here we need to interchanging the summing point. Suppose if you want to shift this here and this here, if you want to interchanging this summing point, what is the rule you need to follow is the same thing. No need of sign changes and no need of arrow mark indications. We're just shifting this and this. No need of interchanging this A because A is the forward path. You need to shift the C and B here. So just look that. See, if you want to check this particular thing, whether it is right or wrong, if you want to apply, if A plus B, you got the output here A plus B. Then this particular C is connected and this A plus B is go to the input here. Then adding this, we got the output A plus B minus C. Like that, if you want to shift it also, if you want to splitting that or interchanging also, there is no change of output. Here, we need to shift this block here. So A minus C is the output of the first and the last output adding the B. So we got A plus B minus C. So same output is required. So especially in the summing point, because of not adding of any G or reciprocating or multiplying, because of this summing point itself getting the same output, whether you are interchanging, whether you are splitting, whether you are combining, all the thing, the summing output is same. Okay. So I already told you this is the negative feedback path. Why? This particular feedback block is connected to the negative of the summing point. So what is the thing we need to do is how we can able to reduce this negative feedback path. Please remember this R is go to the input of the summing point. Then it is go to the block element. Then the output is RG here. Then once the output response is not a desired response, then only the response will be go to the feedback again. That we already discussed in the introduction class itself. So the C is again coming to the feedback. Then here it is changed into CH. Okay. Then once it reach the summing point, because of adding this particular R again, this particular thing is converted into R minus CH. Because a negative sign is here, then input is here, so R minus CH is here. Then this particular R minus CH is input again and it is go to the G. Then you got G into R minus CH. G into R minus CH you got. This is the final output C. So here we got C is equal to G into R minus CH. So the final output we got is G into R minus GH. Sorry, CH. Okay, then multiply the G inside. Then C is equal to GR minus GCH. Then shift the block into here. C plus GCH is equal to GR. Okay, then take the C as common. Then 1 plus GH is equal to GR. What is the requirement of simplification is I tell you. Then move this CR in the downward direction. Then here this particular equation is turned into C by R is equal to, then move this particular numerator into the denominator, G divided by 1 plus GH. So please remember what I did is I just take this C as common here and move this block and move this particular multiplication numerator into the denominator and move this R into the denominator. So C by R I got, G divided by 1 plus GH is remaining. What is the need of calculating this G by R is, this is the transfer function of this particular feedback block. Okay, so that is what I am simplifying this to get C by R. So C by R is the final transfer function of this removing feedback loop, that is negative feedback loop. So wherever you saw the negative feedback path, you can able to apply, instead of these two blocks and the summing points, you need to convert this particular G divided by 1 plus GH. Okay, so please remember C by R is equal to G divided by 1 plus GH. This is the negative feedback path rule. So what is the thing we need to do is, if you want to remove the block, then you can able to apply, instead of all the blocks, you need to put G divided by 1 plus GH here. Then this is R and this is C. So instead of all these elements, this two blocks and the summing point and the branch point, all the thing is converted into the one block because of applying the rule. Please remember. Okay, G divided by 1 plus GH is the negative feedback path rule formula. Then the last rule we need to follow is positive feedback path. So for removing this positive feedback path, the same rule we need to apply, because it is go to the output, then the output is going to the input for the feedback, and we got the CH here. The only conversion is, instead of minus, here plus. So we got the input again plus R plus CH is joined here. Then what is the output, what is the final output here? G into R plus CH. So the final output C is equal to G into R plus CH. Okay, then the same thing you did. C is equal to GR plus R GCH. Okay, then move this block here, move this element here, then C minus GCH is equal to GR. Then take the C as common, then 1 minus GH is equal to GR. So the final equation from this, you got C by R. So C by R is equal to G divided by 1 minus GH. So wherever you saw this particular positive feedback path, then use this particular formula, G divided by 1 minus GH. So what the thing we need to follow is, instead of all this block, instead of all these elements and the summing point and the branch point, we can able to write the blocks as like G divided by 1 minus GH. That is, it is R and this is C. That's all. So this is the rule formula you need to apply for positive feedback path and negative feedback path, and all the other rules we followed. That is combination, that is combining the cascade connection, combining the parallel connection, and moving a branch point ahead of the block, moving the branch point behind the block, moving the summing point ahead of the block, moving the summing point behind the block, combining the summing point, interchanging the summing point, splitting the summing point, positive feedback path removal, negative feedback path removal. So totally 11 rule we need to follow. So if you know all these 11 rule, then we can able to convert the blocks into a single block. Whether the block elements having 10 elements or 100 elements or 1000 elements. If you are applying this rule properly, then we can able to convert the 100 elements or the 100 elements, 1000 elements into the single block to determine the transfer function. Just hold the topic today. In the next class, we are going to do how we can able to apply the rule and how we can able to reduce the blocks into determining the transfer function. Thank you.